Man, this like 2-day long 10,000 player VGC tournament's been pretty cool so far. Skraw has really outdone himself. But I also heard there was this cool like best dressed competition with all these people competing to see who has like the coolest Pokemon and then would have like the most ribbons and stuff. So this is probably really cool. I'm excited to see who the winners are. He's about to announce them.
Every single submission showed that the connections our battlers have to their Pokemon can run so much deeper than just their damage calculations and stat spreads. But I like that a lot too. We saw Pokemon from across the franchise and reviewed over 1,000 individual Pokemon to find the teams that embodied just how special this game is. Without further ado, here they are. Our second place prize goes to Kiki. The name of her team was Friends Made Along the Way, which she demonstrated with several Pokemon that are very special in many different ways.
My great friend.
Ribbon, the Milotic on her team, originated from the New York Pokemon Center distribution and had been received an in-person trade at the Knoxville Regional Championships in 2024.
That's so cool.
Before traveling all the way up from Generation
I wonder who
3
traded that to her.
Advanced to the Nintendo Switch, while also collecting every ribbon along the way in battle towers and Pokemon contests to earn the Ribbon Master. The next Pokemon is Spirit, a Raichu that came from one of the most unique and perhaps fitting games for
Poketopia Raichu.
Pokemon Battle Revolution.
Let's go!
This was a surfing Pikachu gift that she earned all the way back in 2008 by cleaning every Coliseum in the game. And the personal crown jewel of Kiki's team was Frost Shard, the shiny Glaceon. Although this is just not any shiny. This Pokemon originated from a shiny Eevee that was given away in person at the Arlington Regional Championships all the way back in 2010.
That's crazy.
This Eevee was actually redeemed by our first place winner.
What?
We traded it to Kiki specifically so it could take part in the Grand Champions Festival after hearing about the best dressed competition.
Dude, that's so cool.
Not only did Kiki
she has such a good friend.
Incredibly special Pokemon, she absolutely knocked it out of the park on day one of our tournament.
I'm so proud of her.
Glaceon and
she got to day 2.
Went on to be the top-ranked Pokemon of their species in the whole tournament. And
yes!
a day 2 placement with 7 wins in yesterday's Swiss rounds.
It's so awesome.
And now,
how are we gonna top that?
Get into our winner.
Like, that's a crazy team.
Grand prize with a total of 98 out of a maximum 99 points in our rubric, and taking home a framed piece of artwork of their team, we have Venty and the Ribbon Masters who made history.
That's
Venty
me.
won a team of the most cherished Ribbon Masters, including FANGO the Mamoswine. Who is the first ever shiny Shadow Piloswine recorded in history. A shiny they hunted back in Pokemon Coliseum on the GameCube, along with 2 Pokemon collected at some of the very first regional championships ever held in Pokemon VGC. Venty brought the brother to Kiki's Glaceon, a Pokemon that's been cherished since it was received at the Arlington Regionals all the way back in 2010, and waited all this time to show its grit as a pixelate Sylveon.
The picture's a little out of order, but that's fine. It's fine.
Sylveon was definitely the strongest evolution we saw in our event today. To help keep other Pokemon in check, they also featured a shiny Milotic from the first ever recorded VGC event all the way back in 2009. All of the Pokemon they brought with them carried special memories with friends, and even special memories of their mom bringing them to events across the United States.
And that's true.
Venty, congratulations on winning the best dressed competition. Now, let's get into
the team. Yes, you heard that right. I, Venty, entered into this massive tournament, the largest VGC tournament in history, 10,000 players. And they had over 240 of those players submitting for the best dressed competition, a side event for the team / Pokemon who were the best dressed. Which included, like how rare they are, their initial encounter, like how special that is, how many ribbons they have, they're shiny, what memories you've made with them along the way, like all this stuff. It's very, very, very specific, very difficult, a very cutthroat competition. They were insane, some insane competition, including my amazing friend Kiki, who got second place, and absolutely crazy. But today, today, I am here to do a recap of my war story for getting all these guys, because this, I kind of had the longest entry of anyone in the entire thing. But that's just because I had so much to write about these guys. All 6 of the Pokemon that I chose in the team, you can see it there in the last picture it showed, all 6 of them together, are all Ribbon Masters who have a crazy set of different paths behind them that encapsulate so much of my time playing Pokemon across my entire life. And I want to show you all in depth, with director's cut commentary, the full story of how these guys filled my life with so many memories and managed to win this insanely cutthroat competition. So without further ado, let's continue. So first of all, here, I have some videos to show. First are our guys, and let me actually just mute this really quick. Whoopsie. This is FANGO, the star of our show, the crown jewel of all of my Ribbon Masters ever, and of my whole team. He's gotten all the ribbons from every source possible. Mamoswine is one of the only species left that can actually go to every single game with ribbons, especially those that can also be a shadow. So it has the max possible ribbons, also has the mini mark, so it has 94 ribbons / marks, which is the most a single Pokemon can get. This is my shiny Melodic Omega Donut, who is the VGC 2009 event Pokemon they gave away if you went to one of the very first regionals. This is Astidian, my VGC 2010, a shiny Eevee, now shiny Sylveon, that has been, again, Melodic was on my card for 17 years, and Astidian here has been on my cards for 16 years. And I finally decided to evolve them, and I evolved them into a Sylveon, and I don't know if there are any other, like, versions of this Eventmon that some people actually picked up from the event back in the day that are Sylveon at this point. Like, I don't know if there are any. I might have the only one in the entire world, like, unironically. Chromie, my beloved, my rank master, my absolute ace when it came to climbing ranked battles in Sword and Shield. It was on dozens of rental teams that I used to help people, for myself, and to help people hit Master Rank in Sword and Shield. Fructose, my second Gen 3 Shadow Ribbon Master, who was the world's first Shadow Ribbon Master to get all ribbons from Gens 3 through 8. Both times when they first brought it home support and after they allowed old Mons to get the Master Rank ribbon, which was freaking awesome. I'll have more to say about him later. And then, I'll have more to say about all of them later. And then, Porum, the most recent Ribbon Master on my team, but she was the backbone of my brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl Tournament Champion team, where I won this whole big tournament where we could only use, it was hosted by the Ribbon community, you could only use the Pokemon from your in-game team that you first hit Hall of Fame with. And she was the backbone of my whole team. So just for the, introductions out of the way, let's get into the meat, y'all. So they had us give titles to all 6 of the Pokemon in our party, like just made up whatever fun titles for them. And this will be a bit of foreshadowing for later. But FANGO is the world's first shiny Shadow Piloswine, his original title, plus Celebi's Bittersweet Time Capsule. Next we have Omega Donut, the shiny Melodic, the shiny Serpent from the dawn of VGC. She's from literally one of the very first events that were even titled VGC from 2009. Astidian! The wondrous contender of endless potential, signifying, them being an Eevee for 16 years, and wondering and having no idea what to evolve into until this very tournament. Next is Chromie, the fairy woman of Galar's Ribbon Masters, very fitting, considering she literally fared, like, hundreds of Ribbon Masters to Master Rank back in Gen 8. Fructose, the fastest 4x speedrunner known to man, Amon. Again, from speedrunning the Ribbon Challenge super fast to actually get the world first spot as the first Gen 3 through 8 Shadow Ribbon Master, back when Sword and Shield were current. And Porum, the cosmic backbone of a brilliantly shining champion team, as I explained just now, with her entry. And first off, we will start with FANGO, my boy. Oh my god, it is already 10 minutes in this video. Bro, y'all, this is gonna be a long one. Like, a really long one. Strap in. Alright, so, how did you first encounter and catch your Pokemon? Again, back in 2020, only about 10 to 15 of the 51 Shadow Pokemon from Colosseum had yet to be successfully shiny hunted with video or even screenshot proof. In my last year of law school, I wanted to be one of these very few people who successfully hunted one of these incredibly rare shiny shadows for the first time in recorded history. I put 10,000 resets into my original hunt. Well, actually, it was like 9,000 resets into Hitmontop and then an extra 1,000 into Apon, but 9,000 into Shiny Shadow Hitmontop, the hardest hunt in the game, by far, for over a half a year. I was beaten to the punch by my greatest competition, Jay Parrish, who had been diligently hunting it alongside me. And, well, let me be real, I had the most amount of resets on this guy, but she had the most amount of hours by far. I had done like 300 hours. She had hunted this thing for 900 hours straight on one console. She's actually crazy. Like, I'm glad I lost it to someone like her, who actually deserved it, I'm not gonna lie. And not just some random who came in out of nowhere. Anyways, I was beaten. Heartbroken but not out, I scanned the remaining unhunted shiny shadows, and quickly pivoted to Shiny Shadow Piloswine, an evil line that I always quite admire, and one that was in such an annoying location, the under staircase, that I was hoping it would hold off potential contenders for as long as possible. Which worked, because the staircase sucks. It sucks so much. Your character gets stuck on it so much when you're trying to go down to get to this trader. Bodybuilder Lonia is her name. And after another grueling few months and another 13,352 resets, which were done at the very end of law school, my law school education, while studying for the bar exam, on July 8th, 2021, 2 weeks before I was set to take the bar, actually no, not 2 weeks, like literally like 6 days, my glorious green mountain of a swine, FANGO, revealed himself to me just 2 weeks, okay, whatever. Okay, no, it was 2 weeks and then I did the video for 6 days before, but anyways, before I would have had to pack up my entire Coliseum shiny hunting setup before needing to take the bar, and immediately move across my state. Literally, my movers were breaking down my door like 20 minutes after I finished my test. It was insane. And in total, I spent over a year hunting in Coliseum, and put in a combined total of 23,539 soft resets to get a single shadow shiny. It was horrendous, almost 3 times over odds. But my effort was ultimately rewarded, and I obtained the world's first, and, at the time only, Shiny Shadow Piloswine in recorded history. What then resulted from this is something way bigger than I could have ever imagined. During the next year, one of my favorite periods as a streamer, content creator, a normal TM, Pokemon fan, and a regular contributor of the Pokemon Ribbons community happened. I hosted my Ribbon Master Shiny stream, my Ribbon Master stream series. It was a long stream series during the summer of 2022 where I streamed FANGO and multiple other Ribbon Master partners of his. Shoutouts to Almond, the Shiny Safari Emerald Miltank, X-Death, my Shiny Oras Kyurem White, who was my first soft reset hunt ever, and Lee Vandy, a regular Lee Vandy who was underleveled and got trapped on my Black 2 cart for 10 years, who I figured out how to finally free and decided to ribbon because I loved his story and thought it was hilarious. So yeah, I streamed all of them getting every single ribbon in Gens 3 through 8, going into great detail as to all the best strategies to get each one, regardless of what set of games you may have. This included experiments in building new teams with my stream audience and the rest of the Ribbon Master community to create new strategies and refine old ones to help people in battle towers for years to come. I even repeatedly played multiple battle towers and facilities on stream at once, using multiple systems to try out as many teams as possible, including holding a community team building competition for figuring out the best team for the Wi-Fi tower, which is actually really relevant because it saved us for like so many years to come for me doing this. It was such a fun thing. We did it over a whole day and tested so many teams, and they were so awesome. But during this, I watched FANGO, the unlikely hero of our tale, clutch up to live so many massive hits from legendaries and other dangerous mons in the towers, while striking back with the force of 1,000 swines to single-handedly save our win streaks, even as a mere Piloswine with everything stacked against him. These unfathomable heroics led to me forging a stronger bond with FANGO than any other bond I've developed with Mon before. And, as a Gen 3 Shiny Shadow Mon, on the fact that he's obtained a mini-mark, and, can obtain every ribbon in every game, he's as decorated as a Ribbon Master can possibly be, with a grand total of 94 ribbons or marks. And, to me, FANGO is not merely a cool shiny trophy mon, nor is he simply just the crown jewel of all of my Ribbon Masters, although he very much is. He's also a living time capsule of the last 5 to 6 years of my life. From my first foray into streaming with my Colo Shiny Hunting days to my Ribbon Master stream series, to all the times I'd spent with friends talking and working with them to get FANGO and his motley band of Ribbon Master partners from my stream series over the finish lines in Gen 7, 8, and 9. Fango's journey during the stream series also served to preserve many of my favorite memories as one of my closest friends and fellow mods of the Ribbon community, Reggie Ultima, who, as I mentioned in my last video, unfortunately recently passed away just 2 months ago at the young age of 29. While his passing is nothing but a tragedy, in hindsight, I'm even happier that Fango came into my life, because my streams of his journey let me spend additional hundreds of hours for Reggie, who always tuned into my streams and helped me out with his endless breadth of knowledge. I've started to re-upload these streams on YouTube recently to my VODs channel, Venty VODs. And I'm not gonna lie, rewatching some of these has actually, and like getting to live these memories with Reggie again, has actually helped me cope a fair bit, like seriously. It's been really tough because every time I like just sit there and you know, just realize how sad I am. I can never like have him with me to stream again, asking questions, just like hanging out with him. It's been really tough, guys. I'm not gonna lie. But you know, without Fango, I would have never had these additional hundreds of hours of memories with Reggie. And I'm so glad I got to spend all this time with him before he was gone. And none of this has existed without Fango. So Fango's official canon title is now Fango, the Treasured Memory. And yeah, I guess just to show, to get off on a bit of a lighter note, I will show off some of his absolutely insane heroics he pulled off back in the day here, because I love these clips so much. Also from the stream series, and also featuring Reggie. Okay. Here we go.
I know Ente has no fighting moves, and no either of these guys have fighting moves. I'm going for it, I don't care. We're going for it!
Oh wait, I forgot. It's kind of loud.
I needed to go for it. Rain Dance, get the fuck out of here! Kaboom!
This is our Gen 3 Explosions doubles team, which is so dominant in Gen 3 Tower.
Bright powder, no!
Yeah.
Wait! He put up
Nice.
Rain Dance! He's an idiot! He said Brain Dance, I can live! Slim! And Fango live! Live Fango!
1 HP.
Fango! Oh my god! He threw so hard with that Rain Dance! Fango barely survives!
Love him. Love him. Fango is the Fang Goat. Oh, man.
Thank you. Oh,
Also, that was...
Or we lose.
By the way, that was like match like 47 or 46 of Gen 3 Tower, by the way. Like right before the ribbon, and if losing there would have been a disaster. This is match 47 in the multi-AI tower, the hardest tower of all Gen 4, where you're stuck with your AI teammate, by the way. I only have 2 Pokemon I can bring to this, and it is my Metagross, who is now dead, and Fango, who's in the back. And I forgot I have Fango in the back. And not my Garchomp.
This is actually potentially terrible. Wait, I have my Garchomp in the back! Oh no!
And now it's Fango versus a Kingdra and an Articuno.
Protect! Fango! Yes! Please! Fango, do not miss! Fango, please don't miss! Hit them both! Yes! Fango! Yes!
The longest 3 seconds of my life was waiting for that rock slide to connect to see if it actually hit.
Yes! Fuck you! You pushed Fango over to Furious! He came for your souls! Get fucked!
Classic Venty clip. Fango, the absolute goat. Yes. Has Fango made any special stops? This was a category that really hung a lot of people up, because also it was kind of a vague category, I'm not gonna lie, because it's like, what does this mean? Because they have like a real life like journey thing after this, so it sounded kind of redundant, but this is if they did like extra stupid shit in other games, which Fango did. I showed off every single cool little extra little game mode or stupid little achievement or thing you could get in all of these games with him, because I wanted to show everything in the challenge, including the optional stuff. This is very important to me. I got Fango the shiny leaf crown, and Almond, his partner, is right there. Sitting next to my first ever shiny Pokemon, Shining Wing. The start of everything. I later used them to be able to find my secret ID, so I could actually RNG up a shiny perfect Garchomp named Ghibli, who I still have to this day, who I used to actually beat my first ribbon challenge with my Suicune Lilac. So, like, this Pokemon means so much to me, you guys have no idea. This stupid Pidgeot, I love them so much. So getting a picture with all of them was so nice. And a Chikorita named Chikorin, who I brought up with him. Fango fighting off an alien invasion in a Pokestar Studios movie. We have Fango in the Alola Photo Studio and Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, celebrating his victories. And Fango utilizing the power of Dynamax to defeat Muster's restricted sparring trials, a game mode I never see anyone ever talk about. It's crazy. And Fango with my Ribbon Masters from left to right. Chromie, Fango, Almond, the Kyurem White, X-Death, Suicune, Lilac, hiding behind my first ever master, and Fructose, almost being Mike Wazowski'd by my character here. And we will talk about Chromie and Fructose later. Since meeting your Pokemon, have you made any special real-world memories together? Battle in tournaments, vacation together, visited friends. This is another really important category, the personal connection category. This is a killer for a lot of entrants, because some people had just got Pokemon that they didn't really have a whole lot of memories with, or like got a ton of like Pokemon who were like, you know, meta guys to help build their teams. And again, it's only based on for top 3, but like, my team was not built to do well in this tournament. I'm gonna be completely real here. I got kind of destroyed, but I wasn't trying to win the main tournament because that thing had 10,000 players in it, and there was no way I was ever winning that. I was here solely for the best dress competition. Meanwhile, Kiki, who built her team around a bunch of her Ribbon Masters and only had one rando like extra mon, which was also cool because it was a Frostlass she got from one of her best friends, like, which is really cute. Because her best friend got one of her friends got like one of her Pokemon to use on their team. It was a cute little exchange they did. But Kiki, using this Rimmaster team, using not standard stuff at all. She's using like Raichu and Glaceon on this team. She got to day 2 in the largest VGC tournament of all time. Like, this is the largest one ever. Like, the next biggest one was like just under 2,000 players. I think it was like an EUIC or something. Like, guys, her achievement is crazy. She is like giga cracked. And like, if you watched the Draft League video, last Draft League of her absolutely slaughtering me, playing with her food, slaughtering me in the worst beatdown I've ever received in Pokemon now, like, she is so scary. She's one of the best players I've ever met. She's insane. She's like 3 years younger than me, bro. Like, I'm so proud of her. She's so awesome. But anyways, back to the topic at hand. I brought Fango on my Switch and home account with me to a ton of major places I visited vacations I caught him, including Spain in 2022, Orlando Regionals in 2023, where I actually got to meet Professor Rex and a lot of my other friends for the first time ever, in person, and to multiple regions in Japan, where I went in August of 2023. In total, I took him to Osaka for GoFest 2023, Tokyo, and Yokohama, where we attended the 2023 Pokemon World Championship together. And he also accompanied me to California multiple times for Go Tours 2024, 2025, 2026, NYC for GoFest 2024, New Jersey for GoFest 2025, and Italy for my recent honeymoon I had in December 2025. Yes, Venty is married now. I think this is in my update video, but I'm married now. Sorry, I'm off the market. My Coliseum hunts back in the day were so... Kiki put it like this, they were so iconic. My dad literally mentioned my escapades hunting Shiny Shadow Hitmontop and getting the 2 uncatchables during his wedding speech at my wedding. Yeah, it's crazy. It's actually insane. So Fango and all my shiny hunting days are heavily entwined with who I am today, even with being years later. And finally, he came with me to visit my good friend Kiki in DC, where we performed a once-in-a-lifetime trade, which we'll talk more about in upcoming entries. And lastly, about Fango's name. When coming up with a name for Fango, which I figured out a couple weeks before Com, he was limited to 5 characters since I was playing a Japanese Coliseum to get the early Master Ball from the silly bonus disc, so I could hunt him way more easily, because I was not doing another non-Master Ball hunt after I lost Hitmontop. I was done with that. I needed more consistent hunts. I ultimately decided to name him Fango after the cute warthog-like monster from Monster Hunter, the Bull Fango, which looked a good deal like Piloswine. Actually, one second. I'm gonna pause and show you guys what this looks like. One second. It's this man! Look at this man! Decently enough like him. Anyways. But yeah, that's what I named him after, and the name sounded cute. Also named him Fango because, hilariously, his best physical ice move he'd have access to until he got all the way to Gen 8 would be, you guessed it, Ice Fang. As Ice Shard and Icicle Crash were locked away as egg moves until then. Also, various art of Fango was done by some of my regular stream watchers as well. This is one of my favorite pieces of art I've ever received ever. This is from my good friend PixelHearted Games, or PixelHearted, I think is now what they're going by. They were games for a while, but now I think they're back to PixelHearted. Made a wonderful piece showing shiny Hitmontop riding on Fango as a Monster Hunter Bull Fango, and like Hitmontop also in like a full custom made like looking like Piloswine-esque like armor. Like she just invented a new Monster Hunter armor set from like Piloswine scene with a weapon and everything. It's so cool. It's so cool. Like, this piece of art is also still the channel banner art for my YouTube channel to this day, and I do not see this changing anytime soon, or possibly ever. I'm not gonna lie. Additionally, the incredibly talented Lately Sofa made another piece of art for Fango holding a gun, based off his incredible Battle Tower heroics in Gen 3, as we showed you. I won't hesitate, bitch! They mimicked the battle background for Gen 3, the little circle, the text blocks, everything so well with this. It's amazing. I love this so much. I became such... I already liked the Mamoswine line, but like I became such a massive fan of Piloswine and Mamoswine. Like, so much from ribbiting this guy. Like, he is... I was conflicted about whether even to evolve him, because I just ended up thinking Piloswine was a really cute Pokemon, but I ended up having to do it because I was like, okay, I need him to be able to unleash his power because I need him to be more useful in the Wi-Fi tower. I'm gonna die. But then he became super handsome, so I don't mind. I love him as the Mamoswine too so much. So yeah, that's Fango, the first, and the crown jewel of my team. And next, we got a new one. Oops. That's good. Next up, we got Melodic. We got our shiny VGC 2009 Melodic. How'd you first encounter it? Well, this is gonna be a long story, but guys, I'm redoing it. I'm redoing my recap video from 2009. I obtained the shiny Melodic back in 2009 at the 2009 VGC Regionals in Nashville, Tennessee. One of the franchise's first events officially labeled as VGC. As far as I'm aware, they were only really giving these out to competitors, but thankfully a couple more people seemed to be able to get them, which was nice. I'm glad more people got to get it. I think it was dumb. Because it was dumb if it was limited to competitors, because competitors were decided via a random lottery due to a way higher turnout than expected that day. I had to come with my mom all the way from Florida to Nashville to compete, and my draw number was Metapod. They actually gave it to you by Dex number and the Pokemon, so I got Metapod. Jeanette Dex number 11, which is also my lucky number, as you guys know from my mini 11/11 streams, where I tend to get pretty good shiny luck. And ultimately, I was actually chosen to play in the tournament. Everyone, literally everyone I met there was super nice, and alongside my Melodic, I was gifted tons of Gen 4 event Pokemon that I'd missed out on for basically free. Like, literally free, they just gave it to me. Like the level 100 Regigigas, like a ton of, like the event Darkrai they give out, Toys R Us, and the event Shaman, just for free! They just gave it to me. Because I told them I missed out, I was like, oh no, take this, bro. And I'm like, why? This is so nice. Why are you doing this? It's so cool. And they just random competitors and friends I made there. They just gave these to me. Yeah, I missed out on all those events as a kid. All those. I didn't start getting, like, actually going to events until, like, Platinum came out. So I missed all the DP ones and all the cool stuff they had from there. And Nashville Regionals is still one of my favorite memories I've ever had as a Pokemon player. And that's still true to this day. Like, it was awesome. And there he is. I keep saying she because I always imagine Melodic as she, but they're very much a he. As to Omega Donut's name, now they are named Omega Donut. Thanks to Kiki actually arranging up 2 separate save files, one for my Melodic and one for my VGC 2010 EV, so I could actually nickname them in Gen 4. It's really easy if you just get the same TI, like the same TID and stuff. And I think name them the same thing, name train the same thing, you can rename Pokemon really easily. So she did that for me, like, literally in like a couple hours, like, before I flew to DC a couple months ago. It was so nice of her. And as to Omega Donut's name, while I was waiting in the very long line to play in the tournament back in 2009, I met a Smogon regular in the distant past, and one of the grandfathers of RNG manipulation in Gen 4, Omega Donut, who, despite me being a clueless 7th grader at the time, and him being an actual competitive player in college, was endlessly nice to me and my mom, and taught me the basics of RNG manipulation while we were staying in line. Back then, the format was closed team sheets with best of 1 matches. Yes, it was ass, and I got obliterated in the first round while using a special Aggron with Ice Beam and my Surfing Raichu from PBR. Oh no. All I'm going to say is that when I saw that Kiki was using this exact same event Raichu from Pokemon Battle Revolution in this tournament, and day 2'd with it, and was the top Raichu player in the entire tournament with the PBR Raichu, I felt so vindicated, and it was almost like everything had come full circle. It was incredible. I was so happy for her, for Raichu, and Glaceon fans all across the world. This is incredible. However, Omega Donut, the player who had driven all the way across the country from Arizona with his roommate to compete in the national regionals, and he made it all the way to the finals. His final opponent was his roommate in Perfect Luck, the 2 of them were sparring partners, so they knew each other's teams perfectly in and out, and they knew each other's habits, and it was crazy. You had people pulling off like feint plays back when the move would do no damage if you failed to break protect, and also just fail if it did nothing. And we saw Perfect Luck pull it off against Omega Donut, which was insane because he actually just knew his habits and knew when to predict it. And after a climactic duel between the 2 players who knew each other's teams the most, and Perfect Luck came out on top. However, this performance got the 2 of them tickets to compete in 2009 Nationals, where the 2 ended up in the finals again. And Omega Donut came back with a vengeance and managed to win it all on the national stage, which once again qualified both of them for the 2009 World Championships. Now, while 2 of them didn't end up getting in the finals of the World Championship, which would have been the craziest story of all time, this was still like Omega Donut was like a living legend in my eyes, like someone I looked up to, someone so cool and nice and knowledgeable, and I'm like, I would be like this guy one day. This guy's awesome. I have a link to their whole war story. You can find, if you search Omega Donut and Perfect Luck, like Nashville Regionals, you'll find this. Still on Smogon. This is such a fun read. I seriously recommend you guys actually like read this if you're interested. They were screwed. They almost got arrested on the way there. They got hit by like sleet storms and like crazy stuff that almost stopped them from the tournament time. It's so funny. It's such a funny read. And hearing how, they were doing back in tournaments and his, war started going to the tournament back in 2009 is so cool to see nowadays. It's awesome. This is, actually amazing. And, I also have links here. I mean, I'll link the doc in the description. But, yeah, they also have the links to their national championship matches. The audio's kind of not the best anymore after 17 years, but it's still really cool if you want to see a piece of history. If you enjoyed the first article and you want to see more of these guys, I still really like this set to this day. I think it's a cool set. Using the very primitive metagame that we were in back in Gen 4 2009 with only Platinum. As for my Melodic, we were told it was supposed to be only given out to competitors at the event, as after you finish your last match, they would usher you through an additional line to check out, which was through here. Though I think a few people who didn't win the lottery but thankfully also got to get it, which again, very happy about. Glad more people got to get it. In this final line, you'd get to a line of tables near the checkout desk, which actually said purple tables. It's right off screen to the left here, where the event coordinators or professors would pull out a bulky Game Boy slot distribution cart where it played a cutscene of Gen 3's Shiny Melodic Sprite being beamed up to your Platinum DES cart, where it showed the Platinum Sprite. It was super cool, and it's this distro cart event I've never seen anyone else talk about, literally ever, or write about. And here's the picture of the Melodic line, and there he is. Omega Donut is about to be born. This is him. This is the distribution card for shiny VGC 2009 Melodic. That, and fun fact, I took these pictures and a lot more of the event on my original DSi. I am not joking. It is sitting right next to me. I'm about to upload these pictures to my computer very soon and hand it off to the Project Pokemon people to be able to have on their history pages and to Bulba Garden as well, because I can't believe I took pictures. I was always like, man, I really wish I took a picture of this because I've never seen anyone else talk about this distro card. And I did! I actually took a picture of it! I cannot believe I did. I'm so happy. This is crazy that I get to actually immortalize this piece of Pokemon history when no one else ever did. It's so awesome. I cannot believe this has been lurking on my DSi for 17 years. And yeah, for the last 17 years, I've cherished and held on to my shiny Melodic, who sat safely in my main Platinum file for all this time. And I'm now officially owned this Melodic for more years of my life than I haven't. I am 29 and I've owned it for 17 years. That is insane. And it has so many of my core memories as a competitive player wrapped up into it. Once I had heard of the Ribbon Master Challenge and had joined the community back in 2018, I had been waiting for the right time to finally use it and ribbon it. With the advent of this tournament, which is now the largest VGC event in history, I knew it was finally time. Since there has never been a better moment to train and ribbon up one of the rarest Pokemon in my entire collection, the Shining Serpent, from the very dawn of VGC, as we know it. Are there any other special circumstances surrounding your first meeting? Yes, everything I just said, basically. Yeah. Including alongside Megadona's namesake, the player who would later become the US 2009 VGC champion, who I met in line, just casually. How many ribbons that I collected? This is 67. It's the max available to a Gen 4 Master without a size mark who cannot visit Legend of Arceus, which is exactly what Melodic is. And I can get everything else. Ribbon tile view equipped in this Pokemon. The Living Legend, for reasons I stated before, because Omega Donut himself, the original player, was, in my book, and still is, a living legend. And, yeah, it only makes sense for Melodic to bear this title. Have they made any special stops in their in-game journey? They have come with me literally everywhere besides, besides coming from the one-of-a-kind event distribution cartridge, has traveled everywhere with me, like literally everywhere that I mentioned before, including also the bonus trip to Arlington Regionals in Texas for 2010. And a copy of them has also been preserved on my good friend Kiki's Battle Revolution file as well, which she frequently brings to local Pokemon conventions as a panelist in the DC and surrounding areas, and lets people fight battles with their huge catalog of Competimon's in Chinese. So if you ever see her at a convention and get a chance to play her PBR file, try picking up Omega Donut for one of your battles. You won't be disappointed in them. They're really awesome. Since first meeting your Pokemon, have you made any special real-world memories together? So when starting Omega Donut's Ribbon journey earlier this year, I brought them with me to DC to visit my good friend and fellow former modeling community, Kiki/Ayano, who's also the owner and creator of Bloom and Ball site, if you guys have ever been there. There, she RNG'd up multiple save files so I could name my beloved shiny Melodic and their VGC event cousin, Estinia, who we'll get to very soon. We swapped in-game mail as well, and I gave Kiki a once-in-a-lifetime gift that she could also use in the tournament. But I'll let her talk about more stuff, and I'll also talk about more in the next entry. My mail to Kiki. This Eevee is treasure, isn't it? Stock prices are incredible! You is the real treasure. I sat here writing this. I'd never written a piece of mail in Gen 4 before. I sat here writing this for probably at least half an hour. There were so many options to go through. And it's so cute that I used the snow mail from Snowpoint, because she ended up evolving the same Eevee that I gave her into a Glaceon, which is just really cute. I don't even know if I meant to do that. I just picked it up because I like Snowpoint a lot. That's why I got that mail. And she sent me this mail, which was, I love Girl. I love Eevee too. Yay, Eevee rare. Thank you, Fred Power. Fantastic. Please, if there's anything else we should know about this Pokemon, I linked to my very recently posted video of my photo album from the 2009 VGC event on my DSi that I recorded. It is crazy. Please go watch that, guys. It's really cool. I'm not gonna lie. And also here is the very end of a terribly weird video from 2009. Did I actually open this? I don't think I did. I will open it because it's funny. Hold up. Oh, thank God it's muted. Oh, he's so bad. 17 years ago. Venty.
The last Pokemon I got, you're the 7th.
Pokemon is the shiny Milotic they gave out. Freaking awesome, guys. Oh,
The blurry, it's so bad!
And he somehow got a shiny Milotic. Don't know how. They just gave it to him. Even though they said
Almost 17 years ago.
If you were able to participate. But whatever. Pokemon event. See? I don't know if you can see it says VGC 09.
You can't see it, buddy, but we'll believe you.
I love my shiny Milotic. There's Rain Dance, Recover, Hydro Pump, Icy Wind, and it's got a Flame Orb on it. Yeah. Freaking awesome, guys.
He's so dumb. He's such a dork. A literal fetus. A literal fetus. And here's Omega Donut finally returning to the competitive stage after 17 years. Alongside our good boy Fango in Pokemon Champions. Which is great. So that is Omega Donut. And now we have Esterion! The shiny VGC 2010 event Eevee, now Sylveon. I obtained this Indian from going to the VGC 2010 Arlington Regionals in Texas. Once again with my mom, who had a blast taking me to the previous National VGC event in 2009. I still remember sitting in the lobby waiting to play the morning of the tournament, performing my final team checks before we locked in our teams and talking with new friends I'd made. When one of them pulled out their phones and said, "The new Pokemon games were recently announced, and they've just revealed the legendary designs." And we all huddled over this super tiny, primitive flip phone to look at the news on Cerebi showing off the designs of Reshiram and Zekrom for the first time. And we all thought the new box legends looked omega badass. Which, to be honest, fair, they are. But that, yeah, it looked like the coolest thing we've ever seen in our entire lives. It was one of the hypest moments I've ever had as a Pokemon player. That was crazy to be there of all places when I saw that for the first time with everybody else around me. Like, that's so awesome. Shortly after that in line, I heard that the shiny distribution was thankfully a wireless one this time, with its distro cart / console no doubt hidden somewhere in the venue in hindsight. I wish I could have gotten a picture of that too. But alas, I was able to finally download 2 of the shiny event Eevee to my HGSS cartridge at the time. But I only wish I had also brought my sister's 2 games with me as well, because she also had 2 copies, the Heart Gold and Silver. I didn't think we'd be able to get multiple, so I didn't do it. And I thought I could get them maybe on Diamond Pearl Platinum. No, it was only for HGSS. I could have had more, but alas, I'm glad I had at least got 2. And there, Esterion was still a nameless shiny Eevee, alongside their identical twin sibling, who would later be known as Frostshard, named by Kiki, sat on my 2 cartridges for, you guessed it, another 16 years, waiting for me to finally make up my mind on not only what to use them for, but what to evolve them into. With the advent of this tournament, it was no-brainer to have my original Eevee on my main Soul Silver cartridge finally go through its ribbon journey, alongside Omega Donut, and be transferred up to me to join me for this monumental tournament. So, flash forwarding to now, 16 years later, I finally decided to evolve my shiny event Eevee into a Sylveon, as there are probably incredibly few of these like legitimately obtained back in 2010 event Eevee that are still even out there on people's saves. Like, there's probably almost none of them left. And I may, because I waited so long to evolve them, I might legit be the only person who waited to evolve them for all this time and turning it into a Sylveon. Like, for full disclosure, someone else has ribbon this exact Eevee. They got it from a friend of theirs who went to Japan on vacation or something and then came back with them to give it to them. They're split somewhere out of the US. And then they ribbon it, right? But theirs was an Umbreon. They evolved that thing a million years ago. Like, no one's ribbon this thing as a Sylveon. I've seen no reports of anyone else that even owns this thing, like, legitimately from back then, let alone, like, evolving into a Sylveon ever. So this might be the only one in existence, unironically, that's now a Sylveon. Is also, the reason I also evolved into Sylveon is because it's probably the Eevee with the highest chance of me being able to keep using it in the future. Pixelate Hyper Voice Go Burr. And also because Sylveon is my favorite visually, the shiny evolutions. Guys, it looks so gorgeous in the new games, like, insanely good. As for his name, special thanks again to Kiki for arranging up a save file in Gen 4 to allow me to finally nickname him. I named him Esterion after the infamous Azure Dragoon and my favorite Dragon Slayer in fiction. My fellow FF14 and Joe Cat fans represent. Allow me to find this really quick. Where the heck did I put this, man? Aha, here it is. And for any of you who are wondering why I've been saying it's a steady odds name that way the entire time, please see here.
Oh my god! It's
Astinian.
It's Astinian!
Yeah, that's why. Anyways, my fellow JoeCap fans, again, represent, please. Please say so if you're there in the comments, I beg of you. Or if you're a FF14 fan, either way, I want to hear from you guys. I love y'all. Anyways, moving onward. So yeah, because Sylveon's a Dragon Slayer, so yeah. Astinian's a Dragoon, he's a Dragon Slayer, same thing. And he's also blue. Like, the Azure Dragoon. So there you go, that's it. That's the nickname. Also, unfortunately, what even is this? Oh, this is so cool. I initially recorded quite a lot of footage of VGC 2010 Arlington Regionals on a very, very, very shitty camcorder back in 2010, but sadly, it was never uploaded, unfortunately, and it's long since been lost to time. However, I do still have one video uploaded on my channel from the VGC 2010 Arlington Regionals, and it was me playing on one of the hilariously large capture card machines in a King of the Hill style casual match where people were trying to boot a very dominant short-term player off his throne. Someone I met there in the line recorded the match that I had up there for me, and at the very end of the video, once the match concludes, he does a quick spin around the area and you can see more of the actual tournament space too. This video is hilariously cringy, so I'm not going to watch very much of it at all, but I will watch the end to show you this cool spin around because I think it's really neat. There is my big prawn ways is about to get murdered by this Kyogre. Rip. 07s.
Stop now. Hey, do you want me to stop the recording now?
Watch carefully here, guys. Watch carefully. Wait for it. It's about to do it. The Pikachu! There you go. Yeah! Anyways, that's the only... But yeah, here's my proof. I was there, guys. Right there. Just like I was for Milane. I thought I'd taken some pictures of it too, but I could not find anything, guys. I looked everywhere. I looked on my old flip phone from eons ago, and there was nothing on there. My DSi, unfortunately, had nothing on there, so... Unfortunately, I don't have more. But at least I have this to show that I was there. Just to fully lock that down. Let me see here... Any other special circumstances? Yeah, basically what I was saying. Well, attained alongside new friends, gushing over the freshly revealed designs of Reshiram and Zekrom. All waiting in line to play in the tournament. How many ribbons / marks has your Pokemon collected? Here we go, boys. 69. Nice. 41 regular ribbons and marks, including the classic ribbon from the event and the mini mark. Also, I think I misspoke earlier because I think the amount for a Gen 4 ribbon who can't go to Arceus without a size mark is actually 66, but Milanic has 67 because she has the classic ribbon. Anyways, we need classic ribbon and the mini mark for Asinian. The Battleman ribbon with 6 Gen 4 Battle ribbons, 20 contest ribbons with a contest ribbon, and equals 69. But here's the thing, this is the mini mark, okay? This mark, my god. So allow me to set the stage. This trade I did with Kiki was for 2 reasons. One, because legitimately, I had 2 of these EVs left. And I was going to be ringing the tournament, and honestly, I've had a massive reperspective in my life. Because with Reggie, with the passing of Reggie, unfortunately it appears that his entire collection of thousands of hours of Pokemon, and which is an unfathomably filled out and rare collection, is probably going to be lost to time, unfortunately. Which is honestly really, really a shame. But to me, I was thinking to myself, what am I doing? I have this Eevee that's been sitting here in my Heart Gold file doing nothing for so long. I think it's better, who knows if something ever happened to me. That would be such a shame if they were just also lost for all of eternity, basically. No one would know what it is, what to appreciate it, so I'm like, no. The right thing to do here, the thing that makes sense, is to give it to someone who I know will love and cherish it so much. And so, I gifted my second Eevee to Kiki, my good, amazingly close friend. Again, she came to my wedding. We were so close. Back in 2020, we hit it off super well in the Runes community. we first started becoming really good friends when I dragged her into a voice chat to do BDSP underground statue farming with her. And she had not been in a voice call in years. She had a lot of health problems at the time that prevented her from going outside, especially during the pandemic, because it was really tough on her, so she had never interacted with people socially for a whole lot. So the ribbon community actually helped her really come out of her shell back in the day. And I dragged her into a voice chat after she had never been in a voice chat in years, and we talked for like, she expected to be there for like, probably like only around like half an hour or so, and we were there for 6 hours playing the game and talking together. And then from there on, we just, yeah, became super stupidly close friends. Like, when I met my wife for the first time, when I went on my first date with her, like, during that date, she told me, oh yeah, I got really close, I really like Pokemon, I was really close to finishing a shiny living dex in BDSP, which she has. She's very close to finishing it. She's been casually working on the background in, you know, the past few weeks when I've been ribboning a lot of these guys. And I was like, started talking to her about the intricacies of my shiny shadow Hitmontop hunt in Coliseum. And she was the one who asked for the first date, or for the second date. And I told Kiki all about this. I was like, there's something different about this one, Kiki, I'm telling you. And she was so happy for me, and now I'm married to the same girl who I told Kiki about all the time. It's crazy. Just to illustrate again, like, we are so close. So I gave this mon to her. I gave this mon to Kiki because I knew she loved Cherished. The AV line is one of her favorite lines ever. And, yeah. It was just because I legitimately wanted to give it to her, but also it was thanks because she had agreed to help me with ribboning some of my Pokemon. She helped me ribbon both Omega Donut and Estinion, my Eevee, because I just started a new job, like literally like in the last month, and I didn't have as much time. I was busy trying to get most of the ribbons on my other guys, on the rest of my team, who are in Ginny, and trying to get everything else done for them. And she's like, oh no, I can help you get all the older ribbons. And so yeah. So I actually traded her all 3 of my ribbons. I traded her both of my Eevees and my Melodic. And she already up the save files. And then that's when she also put Omega Donut in her Battle Revolution at some point during that time. And then she traded back to me once they got back up to the Switch era. Except for this guy, except for Estinian. Back to my main point. This guy. This pain in the ass. So, to get this guy the mini-mark, to get him the mini-mark, it was a disaster. Because the only way to get it, to guarantee you get it, because this is a 1, because I wasn't trying for the mini-mark specifically, I was trying for either of the size marks, which is the jumbo mark or the mini-mark. It is a 1 in 8,000 chance if you want either of those guys, and if you want either the tiny or the great one, you need, it's like a 1 in 16,000. It's stupidly, astronomically rare. Like, it is insane. Yeah, Kiki gave me the save file that she had Estinian in, her son file. And the 2 of us sat there, and we transferred hundreds of Estinian, like hundreds of these guys, actually no, thousands, I should say, thousands of these guys up to Legends Arceus to be able to check his size on an alternate language save, because the kilograms are more accurate than pounds. So, I was playing Italian, she was playing in Japanese, and we kept checking the infinite, we could transfer 870 Estinians at a time. And we kept checking them because we were looking for either an Estinian that was like 0.24 kilograms or 0.36 kilograms for the mini and jumbo marks respectively. And the problem is because Eevee is such a tiny Pokemon, the range for whether or not it's actually mini or jumbo is so massive because the mon is so tiny, it's really hard to tell. You can't just eyeball it to see if they're small enough or big enough. So you have to then transfer the few guys, like usually like 6 to 10 of the Eevees you'd get with those like 2 specific size range of 0.24 and 0.36. You then transfer them to Scarlet Violet and then check them there, and they probably wouldn't be the guy you needed, and then you had to start the entire process all over by releasing 300 of your mons at a time in Pokemon Home because they're shiny Eevee, so you can't mass release them in PLA because they don't let you mass release shinies. But in Home, they let you do it 100 mons at a time, and only 300, and then you can only do that 3 times before you have to exit the boxes, go through the super long loading screens, and then go back in your box and do it again. So you have to do this like a million times to get rid of all these Eevee off of your stupid save file. It was a disaster. It was absolutely terrible, by the way. Actually, I'm so sorry. They only let you, I misspoke. They only let you get rid of 100 at a time, so it was 3 boxes at a time. So 30, and then you could do an extra 10 if you wanted to. So it was awful. You do it 9 times, and then you could transfer another set of them back from Sun into PLA. It was awful. It was, guys, it was so awful. She did like 8,000 of them, and I did like 24 or so. I don't remember. Like, I did 3, yeah. I did like 3 batches of them, and she did like 10 or 8 or something. I don't remember. It was bad. It was really bad, guys. But eventually, after like 10,000 of these Estinians checked, I finally got a Mini Mark 1 in a terrible batch that only had 3 checkable EVs. And I was so happy to be done with it. I would have preferred to get the Jumbo Mark because I just prefer the Jumbo Mark. But, and the size being huge, but it, honestly, him being really tiny is also really funny. So I'm fine with this. So yeah, that was a disaster, but it was worth it because we got it in the end literally a couple days before the tournament started, because then we had to like get the rest of the ribbons on him. So it was kind of a, especially, and the partner mark, which takes forever to get. So we got lucky. We got him. Not too much over odds. So yeah, that was a long tangent for this one photo, but seriously, like that was a horrible song to go through. And he's equipped with the exciting memory title as he was obtained alongside the incredibly high memory of me and my newly made friends, gazing in awe. Again, I read Zekrom for the first time, while minutes away from playing in my second ever regional, where I actually knew a bit more about competitive Pokemon at that point as well. Did I lose in round 1? Yes. Did I lose to a team of Ubers? Of like Palkia, Giratina, and a fucking Shedinja? Because I never moved to hit the Shedinja? Yes, I did. It was a disaster, and I was traumatized by Shedinja for the rest of my life. But you know what? We're better now. we learned from our mistakes. Has your Pokemon made any special stops in their in-game journey? Yes. Yes, he has. He's made a special stop to a specially equipped RNG save file to actually receive a nickname alongside their sibling Frostshard. They've gone through every single game from Gens 4 through 9, and they made a special stop after completing the Ribbon journey to evolve into a Sylveon in Pokemon Legends Arceus. And allow me to show that on screen, because this is actually a bit more, this was a bit more work than you'd expect, because I wanted to do in Legends Arceus so I could keep them, well, first of all, because I wanted to see a really cool animation, but also because I wanted to keep them at level 50, because Kiki had managed to keep this guy at level 50 the entire time, and I managed to get the affection on them by continually poisoning them and getting them attacked by Dustox in an infinite battle where I just didn't do anything but feed him like 180 raspberries for like a million years. And actually, I must clarify this because this is honestly really funny. While I was at work, like literally probably like the day before the tournament, Ariel helped me do this. My wife helped me do this. She sat there because she had the day off, and I was like, this is all you have to do. And she's like, okay. And then I'm going to find a spot to do this. And then she literally found these Dustox in the middle of like the first area and kept getting Estinian poison so she could keep feeding him raspberries, because you can't feed it to him when he's at full health. And so she found this strat super fast and then just like literally stuffed this Eevee full of berries to get him max affection so he could evolve into Sylveon so I could get this video.
But this man.
There he is.
He's Estinian! He is the...
He is a Dragoon!
2010. Before they were...
Yes, me. Past me. Get to the good stuff, my friend.
World's first VGC 2010 shiny Sylveon. And for sure is the world's first shiny VGC 2010 Sylveon Remaster.
That's true.
And there he is.
You look so good in Legends Arceus.
He's the Azure Dragoon.
Correct. He looks so good in Legends Arceus. He looks so pretty. Fantastic. The pink is so vibrant in this. It's so nice. Right. Anyways, back to our thing. Since meeting your Pokemon, have you made any special reward memories together? Again, this Eevee and on their cart has been with me through so many trips, as I explained before. Yeah. Okay, I also realized yeah, like I said, I gave it to her because I'd rather it be in her hands, because she honestly is, I mean, I knew she'd cherish it, and she immediately ribboned it. Like, she absolutely, and she was so thankful to have, you know, these projects to ribbon too, because at the time her father was going through some like really crazy health problems, like he got heart surgery and stuff, and this really, and it was really shaky on whether or not he'd actually get through it. And this really helped her just distract herself and have something else to do and not be focused on all the craziness in her life. And I'm really glad I got to help her through this really tough time as well. Like, yeah, he and I have been planning our teams and like working together on all this for months since they announced the tournament. So we had a crazy game plan in mind, and we somehow barely pulled it off in time. It's just amazing. And just to illustrate here, bottom line, in the present day, Kiki evokes in me a love for this franchise that harkens me back to that day 16 years ago in the lobby of the Arlington Convention Center, with me and a bunch of other teenagers huddled around a crappy flip phone, gazing in awe at the cool new legendary Pokemon for Gen 5. I am not exaggerating when I say that Kiki embodies the very spirit of Pokemon, and I wanted to bring one of my rarest treasures from 16 years ago forward to give to her in person when I visited her last month. So I'm just saying, there's no one else on the planet who deserves this Eevee more than her. Especially since she literally top cut within the large VGC event all the time. And here is my boy, my beautiful boy, Isinian, hanging out with my playthrough Sylveon Hitlonia-chan. Again, Final Fantasy XIV fans, please rejoice and mark yourselves in the comments. He is comically small compared to my regular Sylveon. It is honestly really funny. And he's jumping for joy. This microscopic, adorable boy. And yeah, now we move on, my friends. And we're only an hour in, and we're already halfway through. We're halfway through. Oh god, guys, this is a lot, okay? This is a lot. But y'all, we're making pretty good time. I'll say that. Next, we have Chromie, my shiny Dragapult, in a Premier Ball from Sword. Now, how did I initially encounter Chromie? I initially used Masuda method to get Chromie in just only 234 eggs in Sword. Very shortly after the release of Swish. This was out Shiny Charm. I did not have it yet. Because the game literally just came out. I did not finish my decks yet. And I was then one of the very first, and possibly the first, I think actually the first person in the Ribbon community to hit Master Rank for the new Ribbon. And Chromie was the absolute ace of my team in ranked singles. And Chromie hit Master Rank very early on in the very first season of Sword and Shield, which was just 2 weeks. It was just the last 2 weeks of November. I quickly then gathered up the rest of the ribbons that existed in Sword and Shield and submitted her to the Hall of Fame. And to my pleasant surprise, she was the very first Gen 8 native Ribbon Master. The very first Galarian Ribbon Master of all time. From here on out, I would make countless of additional ranked singles teams and shared the rental codes to the community over the lifespan of Switch. Almost all of these teams included Chromie, my go-to mixed attacking Dynamax abuser Dragapult, as a prominent team member. Over the 3 years or so that Swish was current, Chromie helped hundreds, I'm serious, like hundreds of Ribbon Masters secure their ranked ribbons via widespread use of my rental teams by the community. And she would always fight tooth and claw for her Ribbon Master brethren. Like, so many people use my rental teams, and I climbed to ranked at least a dozen times, if not more. Honestly, I think it was more, with Chromie in tow, as one of my main aces. I love Dragapult so much. I have Dynamaxed this thing so many times. I love its Dynamax cry. Like, here's the original post. It is really small. I will try to zoom in. Google Docs doesn't let me do that really well, but this is 11/29/2019, 5:38 p.m. I'll talk more about how I actually got this in a second. This is actually crazy. And Dragapult's one of my favorites. She's legendary, one of my favorite Pokemon ever, because of Chromie. Pokemon Sword and Shield, again, special circumstances surrounding the first time meeting it. Yes. Pokemon Sword and Shield released on November 15th, 2019. And I obtained Chromie exactly 1 week later, and I checked this on my phone photos to see the timestamps. I had the picture of hatching her on November 22nd, 2019. And had them fully evolved and trained up 2 days later on November 24th, 2019. I know this because I took a picture of her evolving. And by that point, I had already EV trained them. At that time, I was studying for my 3rd law school semester's final exams, which included and I mean, it's the literal hardest exam I've ever taken in my entire life, my Trusted Estates Law exam, which was given to us by one of the leading scholars and lawyers in the Trusted Estates field in the entire country. Like, literally, they fly this guy out to lobby lawn cases in other states. Like, high stakes trust in the states case. It is insane. This guy is one of the best players I've ever had, and his test was crazy hard. It was harder than the actual bar in terms of pure difficulty. Crazy. I never forgot any of his teachings even years later. He's amazing. But anyways, despite this, and despite only having 6 days left as a Switch season, despite studying for this incredibly difficult exam, and despite never having climbed battle spot singles or any ranked ladder in Pokemon before in my entire life, I went on the freaking warpath and blazed my way through all 11 ranks to reach Master Rank 5 days later on November 29th, 2019, a single day before the end of the season. Again, I got Chromie the first week of Sword and Shield via Masuda Method Hunt too, but before I had the Shiny Charm, and I've had a terrible track record with Masuda Hunt. At my very next Masuda Hunt, I had Tenna, a Love Ball Hatena, which wouldn't even get the 0 speed IV I tried to breed down. I'm still mad about that. Would go, but at least now it doesn't matter because there's no IVs in Champions. But anyways, this hunt would go over 7 to 8k eggs with the Shiny Charm. So getting Chromie to shine so quickly, literally quickly enough to actually participate and climb the Master Rank in the first season of Switch's Rank Battles, which is only 16 days long, let alone, actually 15 days long, let alone fast enough to be the world's first Gen 8 Ribbon Master was a miracle that defied cosmically calculated odds. Lamau. Actually, Lamau. I have no idea how I did this. This is insane. At least not in the first season. I have no idea how I did this. This is crazy. How many ribbons does Chromie have? 9. Which is all 5 Gala ribbons plus all 4 ribbons of March from Predator. It's the most a Gen 8 Ribbon Master can have. At least one that can go to BSP and RCS, etc. etc. What ribbon and title have you equipped on this Pokemon? Chromie, the Rank Master, because like literally, like, I only have 9 titles, but also, like, there's no other thing it could possibly be. That's their entire shtick, is being the fairy woman of Galar's ranked ladder. Oh, man. Again, shoutouts to Galar Fight Night and the people doing God's work, doing Arceus's work, helping fairy people nowadays through the non-existent queues of Galar's ranked ladder. Thank you. Massive salutes to you all. As your Pokemon made any special stops, via rental teams, they visited the games of hundreds of players aiming to get the Master Ribbon and help their prospective Ribbon Masters achieve what is usually the final ribbon on their long journeys. And obviously she came with me through so many ranked teams throughout the entire lifespan of Switch. Any special memories? Special role memories? I mean, I've hit Master Ribbon Chromie at least a dozen times since I hatched her. Again, probably more than that, honestly. I've also had my copy of Sword permanently occupying my Switch and Switch 2 since the game came out. It's still in my Switch as we speak. And after that, I stopped really buying physical games and only really buy digital copies because I'm done carrying my cartridge, guys. I cannot be asked. Because Chromie has actually been the Mon who's traveled probably with me the most from being on my Switch from all my big trips since I got her back in 2019. Again, every single regional, the World Championship, my honeymoon where I went to Rome, Florence, Venice, Vatican City, Naples, Pompeii, and Sorrento. Like, everywhere, bro. And the Amalfi Coast. To Montreal, Canada, where I actually was trapped for an extra night, because my last flight got delayed. And ultimately to DC, where I recently met my good friend Kiki. It's actually crazy, but she's been to so many corners of the world, and it's probably my most traveled mod out of all of them. It probably is, because she's also been to Spain. And also, on almost all these trips, usually I was with friends, and I'd constantly show off my Ribbon Masters to them if they've ever seen them before, and Chromie would be sitting alongside all my guys in Sword all the time. Is there anything else you know about this Pokemon? To be honest, looking back, Chromie's name was so much more fitting than I ever realized. Chromie is named after the much-beloved, pint-sized bronze, or yellow, Time Dragon from WoW, who is also famous for constantly showing up and helping guide players across all timelines in various time travel-based adventures. Chromie took her namesake very seriously and devoted her entire life to doing the same, helping those in need no matter the place or time by guiding prospective Ribbon Masters in Galar during the majority of ranked seasons all the way to their final line in Master Rank. The final finish line in Master Rank. Like a fairy woman across the absolute river Styx hellscape that is the singles Dynamax ranked ladder. I love the single Dynamax ranked ladder. I love completely broken, unbalanced mechanics. Finding the best, most overpowered strats is my life. That's my lifeblood, guys. And as for ball choice, I caught Chromie's parent with a Premier Ball and bred it down for Chromie. Premier Ball is my favorite non-Apper Ball, and I like the ghostly white color on it to represent Dragapult's ghost typing and its ability to go partially invisible. Its tail partially fades. I mean, here it's actually white and Scarlet Violet, but in Gen 8 it actually like goes invisible fully, which is really cool. But it makes the white actually match more. So actually, that's not bad. And here's Chromie enjoying a churro with her fellow Ribbon Masters. And right on the map. And that's Chromie, my girl. I love her so much. Like, yeah, one of my most used competitive Pokemon, honestly. I love her so much. And now, we move on to the next. I'm on number 5. You see, that one was a lot faster, y'all. That was only like 8 minutes. The rest of it's gonna be a lot easier, right? And here we are. Here we go. It's our boy! Fructose! The Shadow Snorlax Pokeball Timer Ball. Not shiny. No shadows next to you can be shiny. How did you first encounter the Pokemon? Oh, Fructose, my beloved. Fructose was snagged from Cypher Admin Ardos. Did Pokemon blow up here? What the Fructose was snagged from Cypher Admin Ardos on Citadark Isle for a very specific purpose. Let me take you back to the end of 2019. Pokemon had announced Pokemon Home support was going to be added to Switch in early 2020 to allow all Pokemon to finally be transferred into Gen 8 games. I then realized that this would mean that one would be able to quickly race to finish the world's first Gens 3 through 8 Shadow Ribbon Master if they camped the servers on the day of Home's release and got the ribbon on their RM as fast as possible. However, my only Gen 3 remastered time, Lilac, my Shadow Suicune, was not slated to be released in Galar by this time that this happened. This was pre any DLC, and Suicune only would arrive in Galar with the Crown Tundra. Like, months later. Like, basically a year later. Almost a year later. This annoyed me to no end, because I wanted to have the chance to race for the gold with this, but Dexit had thwarted my plans. Or had they? It was absolutely crazy, but I decided, what if I just make a new Shadow Ribbon Master instead that can go to Galar and race for the world first on them? Thus, my plan to speedrun the entire Ribbon Challenge, which I had only ever done once before, was born. I ultimately decided on Snorlax as my non-Dexited shadow target, as it is one of my all-time favorite mons and one who I knew would have no trouble in the various battle facilities with its demonic Curse-Lax set. So after speedrunning through a new file XD and resetting for my desired nature, I obtained Fructose on December 17th, 2019. At this point, time was very short, and I only had about 1 to 2 months left to get all of Fructose's ribbons before the deadline. However, I soon realized that Fructose was a natural speedrunner by birthright, as he was a Snorlax with a perfect 31 speed IV. This made my choice of catching him in a timer ball all the more fitting, as he was ready to go for the 100% RTA speedrun world record. Now let me tell you something else. We didn't know when Home was actually coming out, by the way. This was random. Like, we just knew it was coming in the next, like, month or two by December, and we didn't know when. So I had to get him done fast. Fructose absolutely blitzed through the challenge, sitting in for the most important slot on the team, the defensive backbone, which would usually be filled by Suicune, which is literally the best battle facility mon in the entire series. Like, period. Still to this day. Despite having to fill the biggest shoes possible, however, Snorlax thankfully has big feet and filled that role perfectly in place of everyone's favorite wet dog. I managed to speedrun the challenge in just over 1 month. On January 18th, 2020 is when he finally finished Gen 7. It would have been done even earlier if I had had my GameCube with me to get the Earth Ribbon while I was back home for the holidays, but after I finally returned to my apartment on January 10th, I immediately acquired the Earth Ribbon to finish Gen 3, completed Gen 4 and 3 on January 13th, finished Gen 6 on January 17th, and finished Gen 7 on January 18th. In reality, had I had my GameCube with me, I probably would have finished the challenge in just under 2 weeks total for only my second time ever doing a Shadow Ribbon Master, which is crazy, by the way. I'm still immensely proud of my past self, and Fructose, for this Herculean effort back in the day, before we had so many more of our better and more consistent battle teams for each tower and Gen 2. I then set up my file to get the Galar ribbons as fast as possible. And I waited. Regardless, a few weeks later, on February 11th, 2020, Home support was added to Switch, and Fructose immediately jumped headfirst into Galar, and at 8:56 p.m., mere minutes after the update went live, it was done. Fructose was the world's first Shadow Ribbon Master with all 86 ribbons from Gens 3 through 8. My initial tweet posting the full showcase video a few minutes after my initial post in the ribbon server can be seen here, and I have a picture of it down here, very squished, because it was very long and taking up too much space, but presenting the world's first Gen 8 Shadow Pokemon Remaster, Fructose, all possible ribbons gens 3 through 8. To this day, this is still my most liked tweet, as it was even retweeted by the official Ball Guy Twitter account at some point too. Later on, once the Battle Ready mark feature was added to let any Pokemon from past games compete in Swish's ranked modes, I once again camped the servers for the first season where Battle Ready mark mods would be legal. I had already, in advance, set up a Master Rank streak in the season beforehand, so I would start at rank 9, and once the new season dropped, I very quickly climbed to Master Rank and was the first person in the Ribbons community and anywhere else on social media to have completed a Shadow Ribbon Master with all 87 obtainable ribbons, including the Rank Master Ribbon. Fructose was the definitive winner of the Gens 3 through 8 Shadow Ribbon Master Speedrunning Challenge. Period. Were there any other special circumstances surrounding your first time meeting your Pokemon? Personally for me, I'm also a former world record speedrunner, and I was an individual level speedrunner for WoW's Dungeons raids back in 2016-2018. And had quite a few world records under my belt back in the day. And there's, you can see, so many of these videos still on my channel if you go back far enough. However, after discovering a hobby like ribboning, which I was also super passionate about, it was an absolute blast to plan out the optimal routing and creating win streaks in advance for my Ribbon Master in order to get them finished as fast as possible before the uncertain deadline of home support was added to Gen 8. Give me a lot more confidence as a ribboner and as a contributor to the community. Not only had I solved Galler's ranked letter, I had refined my teams and strategies for the grueling battle facilities from earlier gens. This victory in securing this really fun personal achievement brought me back into full Shadow Ribbon ribboning after I was unsure if I'd ever do another one after my Suicune back in 2018. It was ultimately the catalyst for me eventually wanting to up the ante to do a shiny Shadow Ribbon Master as well, which eventually led to me obtaining a recording / multi-hunting setup, streaming, and then eventually capturing a shiny shadow of my own, FANGO. Yes, that's right, Fructose was the catalyst that eventually got me FANGO. They had to be here on this team. It just made sense. How many ribbons marks has this Pokemon collected? 93. All available ribbons and marks other than a size mark. What ribbon and tile have you equipped on this Pokemon? It's the 100 times victorious, the Earth Ribbon, for his many triumphs over battle facilities contests and his multiple world first records for becoming the world's first Shadow Ribbon Master with all ribbons from Gens 3 through 8. That's our boy. Haven't made any special stops. He's been to every single game gen and is one of the very few Gen Evolution Science that can still get every obtainable ribbon in every game's ribbons. He's fully completed in his tour of duty and is diligently waiting for winds and waves to destroy this stuff again. He also traveled to the Isle of Armor to consume some delicious Max soup to unlock the power of his Gigantamax form. Let him go. And he also participated in restricted sparring, I will say. Since first meeting your Pokemon, have you made any real world memories together? I actually caught Fructose only about a month after Chromie back in 2019. He's been on my Switch alongside Chromie ever since he was allowed in the region in February 2020. He's also traveled to ever also mentioned before, including to DC where I met Kiki. Fructose was usually the main ribbon master I'd show off to people with, either with my original tweet or by pulling up my home account on my Switch or my phone while traveling, and he always got a great reception from people. Is there anything else you know about him? So I named Fructose because I wanted to name him after some type of sugar, as if he was empowered by an eternal sugar rush to fuel him in his speedrunning endeavors. I love him so much, and I'm still so glad I bit the bullet and went out for a crazy record like this back in the day. Even though in the middle of my first year of law school, I had one of the the hardest exams well, actually it was my second year of law school, but still, it was one of the and it's still taking one of the hardest exams of my entire life. Fructose continues his journey of dominating every ruin challenge in his path, managing to snipe a victory in the brilliantly shining contest. And here's my two of my Gen 3 Shadow Ribbon Masters fighting side by side once again in Pokemon Champions. Yeah. And now, the final Mon, my friends. The last guy. We've reached the end. And we made a lot better pace than we did for the first 3, I'll tell you that much. Oh my god. Yeah. Only 19 minutes for 4 and 5, so now we have 6. This is Porom, the Clefable. A Dusk Ball, not shiny, from Brilliant Diamond. Porom was caught during my original Brilliant Diamond playthrough streams. The Ribbon Master community was hosting a unique tournament where people would use their in-game playthrough teams that they reached their This is a type of I missed earlier. That they first reached their Hall of Fame with to battle it out in a decently large-scale tournament. Most people ended up grabbing Togekiss as their favorite type, but I wanted something with a higher potential to be disgustingly powerful. Clefable. Because we had to use the exact same monster from our playthrough team, and we're not allowed to Hyper Train, I needed to catch a good Cleffa from the outset. I had been grinding encounters for a while for Bold Clef with Magic Guard to absolutely no avail, when my good friend Reggie, who was watching my stream at the time and playing alongside me, reported that he had just obtained a Bold Synchronized Ralts on his file, and he offered to trade it to me to help me get my Bold Cleffa far faster, despite him also entering the same tournament and me being one of his greatest competitors. The very next Cleffa I found with this Ralts in my party was indeed a Bold Magic Guard Cleffa, and I was so thankful to Reggie for helping to end my tournament. I also caught her in a Dust Ball to represent how she was caught in the depths of Mount Cornet, and because thematically putting the bright pink and cheerful Clefable in a Dust Ball is honestly hilarious. The footage of Porum being caught can be found here at this timestamp video, which I should have open, I believe, right? Steven was a good boy and did this, right? He opened it. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got her. Get the ball. I was muted. Damn it. You don't want to hear my burrito crunching sound?
There you go. And shouts to Shermer in the chat right there. Hello there. Anyways, I named her Porum because I had just recently finished doing a playthrough of Final Fantasy IV, one of my favorite games of all time, and had been naming my whole team after characters from the game. Porum is an adorable white mage from the game who is famous for casting the ludicrously powerful Comet spell, which can one-shot some particularly hard bosses, and given Clefable's whole theming of space and being... What the heck is this being? And being commonly used as a support mod, and it all fit really well. Porum also uses the Twinkling Star title to keep with her space theming and to harken back to her BDSP origins. Any other special circumstances? Obtained alongside various viewers and friends of the Rim community, including my now past friend, Reggie Ultima. It was crucial to me getting Porum in the first place. I would have been there for hours, bro. Clef is such a shit encounter in that area of Mount Coronet. And I had to have rolled Magic Guards that I would have never escaped. How many ribbons are marked as your Pokemon collected? 29. All ribbon marks available to a BDSP Ribbon Master, you can travel to Swish, BSP, PLA, and Scar Violet. There you go! All 29. That's how many you can get if you can actually hit everything from Gen 8 Origin. What ribbon and title have you equipped on this Pokemon? Again, Twinkling Star, same reason I explained before. Your Pokemon made any special stops in your journey? Yes, they've traveled to every game in Gens 8 through 9, including taking a trip to the distant past in Hisui and duking it out in Galar's rank ladder to obtain her Master Rank ribbon. She's also in Champions now and is finally able to Mega Evolve. This picture was sick. I don't even know how I got this picture. Perfect screenshot timing. This looks amazing. And here's the Legend Stars. It's a cutie pie. Destroyer of Worlds. Since first meeting your Pokemon, have you made any special real world memories together? Actually, yes. Besides traveling with me on many of my big real world trips since she was gone on 11, 28, 21, Porum was the defensive backbone of my entire Rim Master League's BDSP tournament team. She was a crazy, calm-minding, boost-sweeping threat that could easily snowball out of control if not played around very, very carefully, and she held the many strong Fighting Dark and Dragon types in the limited beta at bay. One such example of me decimating multiple key mods on one of my toughest rivals teams during the tournament. I'll show a bit of this. Actually, I'll just show you the next one, honestly. Actually, no, this one clip is really good, actually. One second. Here we are. This is against Haruhi Suzumiya. Regular rival of mine.
Is this what I think it is?
I don't know what you're talking about. I have literally no clue what the fuck you're
Is this
talking
a
about.
stored power set? You didn't think I didn't come prepared for that.
We always do our matches in
Definitely didn't
VC.
come prepared because you don't have fucking Heavy Slam, my dude. That's not fucking Heavy Slam. That's not fucking good enough, my friend.
We've been in a very long stalemate. I was ready. I was ready to unleash Porum.
You know, I have a confession.
What? What's your confession?
I really wanted to bring Hayes against you because I knew you were going to run this set.
Did you? Oh. Bye.
Oh, I'm dead.
Oh, super ultra omega dead.
I'm gonna speed this up just a little bit. Pyra shouts to my Xenoblade Chronicles 2 fans.
Yeet.
Not yet. Bye!
Oof.
Life Orb Call Mine, friend. Life Orb Magic Art Call Mine. Let's go! Anyways. This tournament was done in a double elimination best of 3 format, so if you lost, you'd go down to loser's bracket. And after I went undefeated for 3 matches, I came face to face with my greatest rival, and the only other undefeated team, in the winners finals, Reggie Ultima, the very friend who helped me get Forum in the first place. And after a grueling set of battles, I came out on the top. But Reggie wasn't at the tournament. He went down to losers finals and defeated his opponent, which I think was Shiny Cerebius, aka Shiny Addo at the time. I'm pretty sure that was Reggie's opponent, was Shiny Addo. So yeah, Addo was really scary. He almost beat me. Like, he was really, really good. His team was cracked. Anyways, Reggie managed to defeat him. Went down to losers finals. Beat Shiny Addo, came back up to grand finals to fight me in the climax of the whole tournament. Throughout this incredibly intense set, Forum came in to deal with many of Reggie's most dangerous threats to my team, including his Choice Band Infernape and his demonic Choice Scarf Staraptor, which I had absolutely no resist or real switch-ins to at all, and was the one thing standing between them and Reggie sweeping my entire team. I believe this is it. Yes, it is. Here it is.
Yeah. Oh, whatever. It doesn't matter. We checked the Moonblast.
This is the Staraptor in question.
I think that we should be able to kill it.
This thing killed my whole team, like, unironically.
Oh, there's nothing. Holy shit. Yeah, this should hopefully kill.
But Forum stood strong.
Okay, thank goodness. This stupid monster is gone.
I'm one much down in the set, by the way. I just want to point it out. Like, I just do or die for me in the second game.
It's gonna hurt, but I think I live. Or do I not? I don't know if I live from this range, actually. Shit, I don't really know what to do here. I think I have to just stand my ground. I know if I live.
YOLO.
Live, come on! Come on, Borum, live! Oh yes! I lived!
1-6 health. Goodbye.
Huge, huge, huge KO. The 2 most dangerous threats on his team are gone.
Yeah, huge. That literally turned the entire battle on its head to allow me to actually stay in this. Ultimately, after dust settled, I barely managed to defeat Reggie and won the entire BDSP tournament. These sets were some of the most fun battles I'd ever had with Reggie, with us changing up teams between our 2 sets, which is allowed us the sets occurred weeks apart, to try to one-up each other. I got some neat prizes for winning. But far and away my favorite was when I eventually got from Reggie, as he later gifted me a perfect IV, fully competitive bred Garchomp that was the son of the ace Garchomp of his team, Terra Dynamics. He even hatched the Garchomp on my birthday in the Hall of Origin, and this is still one of the coolest present mons I've ever received. I will forever cherish as a memento of my wonderful friend. And I'll probably end up ribbing him someday too. I actually really want to ribbon him. Like, this is such a cool mon. Like, you went to all this effort to get this for me. Like, it was just so cool. Like, and I got to use him during my Ribmaster stream series I did with FANGO too, for climbing the BDSP Battle Tower, because I wanted to show people how to do it if they had a mon that was only a BDSP and they could only get the Battle Tower that way. Is there anything else? And that Garchomp now is named Nidhogg, just for referencing. But anyway, is there anything else we should know about this Pokemon? So while Porum was the youngest of my Ribbon Masters on this team, they will also forever serve as a bundle of memories closely associated with some of my favorite battles with my dear departed friend, Reggie Ultima. I will never forget Porum's heroics throughout the tournament in holding up my team's defensive line. She is a champion and made history in helping me win in what was probably one of BDSP's only on-cart competitive tournaments, if not the only one, and probably one of, if not the absolute largest to begin with. And here's Porum with her brilliantly shining championship team. Ashera, Porum, Ifralisha, Sid, Leviathan, and Titania. And finally, we have here, as we saw on stream earlier, the finished team of Ribbon Masters enjoying a delicious sandwich in Scarlet and Violet. So, y'all, I hope you guys, I guess, get a bit of a better understanding about what I brought to the table here to win this whole thing. Because again, there were so many Shadow Shiny Ribbon Masters in this, whether they were RNG, there were also a bunch that were actually like normally caught, which was crazy. Again, it's wild to see people going after these. These are really hard. Even if you're doing the easier call hunts, it is a grueling game to hunt in. It really tests people. And yeah, so like, yeah, guys, this is them. These are the guys who conquered this massive event. This event that turned way. They had at first they thought it was gonna be a lot smaller. They only had like 60 submissions like a day before the tournament, and then it like quadrupled to 240. Literally the morning before the submissions were closed. Like the morning of Saturday night, which is yesterday. Like the morning of Saturday, which is yesterday morning. Yeah, I was like I was taking a bit to refine my thing because I tried to submit my answers in the original form. And it was so long that it kept crashing the form and not letting me actually submit it because it said every single thing I wrote was too long, so I had to move everything. I asked the judges about it, they're like, okay, just like move your stuff to a Google Doc, it'll be fine. I'm like, okay, sure. And I did. And then it came out to be 36 pages. 37 if you count this one extra stupid note at the end that doesn't matter. I mean, granted, like half of this is photos, to be fair, like half of this page count, but still. Like, I guess to illustrate, this is where all these guys come from. This is what they mean to me. Every single one of these guys picked for, well, actually, the craziest part about this is that, like, all these mons actually have a lot of history with me and mean a ton to me and have all these really cool stories behind them. But also, like, I looked out so hard that all of these guys happen to be champions. Like, seriously, like, my crown jewel, FANGO being champions. And then my other two dormant crown jewels of Melodic and Sylveon. Well, Sylveon being there is pretty, you know, standard. Like, EVs are usually in everything. But, like, Melodic being there was very nice. Dragonful, Clefable, and Snorlax. Like, a lot of my remembrances are not legal in the game right now. But I'm glad that I had, look, 2 of my 3 Shadow Ribbon Masters made it in. These 2 made it in, these 2 incredibly rare VGC Pokemon. And then these 2 Pokemon from Gen 8 that have such a storied history with me playing competitive in that gen. So, like, I was stacked. And again, at the end of the day, it was only, my top 3 Pokemon for scoring purposes were FANGO, Omega Donut, and Esinion right here. Like, these 3. Which makes sense. I was expecting these 3 to be the front runners anyways, but, like, even the other 3, right, on their own are super strong entries. Even in their own right. Like, they have so much story behind them. They have so much significance to, like, me and just the ribboning in general. Like, especially like Chromie is an actual, like, superhero to the Ribbons community back in Gen 8. She put in so much work. And, like, so even though she has the least ribbons amongst her, like, I cherish her so freaking much. I love all these guys to death. I was running, like, the only team, but this team is so bad and competitive, it was actually crazy. Like, they had almost no synergy besides Follow Me Mega Clefable actually being pretty good. FANGO just killing people with Choice Scarf because he's amazing. Malak actually was frauding people with a Hypnosis Coil set that was demonic. And then the only piece of actual team synergy I had was a stupid round combo I could do with Dragon Ball and Sylveon to make Sylveon have a base 142 speed stat with the base 120 power boosted round. It was so stupid. But it killed so many people. It actually worked so many times. It was so funny. But these guys were great. I may not have done particularly well in the tournament at all. But I had a blast using my team, even though it was a disaster. And I had a blast actually submitting them, because my whole purpose was trying to win best dress, not winning the tournament, because I never had a shot at that. That being said, Kiki almost won Best Dressed and Day 2'd, so maybe it's just a skill issue on my part. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, yeah, like to put in perspective, actually, I'm gonna show this off too because I think it's really cool. Give me like literally 1 second, I'll be back. Alright, I'm finishing this here, boys. The final thing I would like to show you that I just added in here is the chart. That's right, boys, the chart. The final score chart for the top cut, so to speak. Of the top, I don't know how many this is, I think it's like the top 15% of teams. So, we have, sorry, I should straight up. We have me at the top, 98 points. Kiki right behind me at 94. This was so close between us. Like, we're the only two people who actually broke 90 points. The judges were super critical in their analysis about so many things. They loved hearing about people's journeys and everything, don't get me wrong, but like, these categories for like rarity, shininess, like ribbons, like the real world memories you've made, like the special stops you made, these are really strict sets of conditions. And they had a very specific type of team and Pokemon in mind for this whole thing. And Kiki and I fit it pretty well to a T. I think what edged me out was probably having a shiny shadow under my belt, but really helped. I got me a couple extra bonus points I wouldn't have gotten otherwise, but like I got almost a perfect score. Like the max score is 99 for the record. So I was 1 point off. And which I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm like, do I think I actually deserve to get 99? Probably, but it literally didn't matter. So it doesn't matter. It really does not matter at all. But like, it's basically perfect. Like, there's nothing else really that could be improved from this. But yeah, they also showed our highest scoring Pokemon, which I think was a little neat detail that they put in it, and along with all of our themes. Kiki's was friends made along the way, and her highest scoring Pokemon was actually Frostshard, the Glaceon I gave her, which I'm super. She took this to Day 2. She loved this Pokemon so much in just the month or two she's had it. Like, I think it's very much worth it. She's like I said. And I also want to say, I'm not trying to say this whatsoever, like, oh yeah, she got this because of me. No. She is not here because of me. Just because I helped get her my I was part of the delivery chain. I got it originally from Rex, and then got it, brought it all the way across the ocean, back from Japan. I got it from Japan, back to Florida, went back up to meet Kiki at Knoxville Regionals, and gave it to her there. And I also traded her Frostshard. Because it was a show of friendship, and because I just love her, man. She's fucking amazing. So, like, she is here because of her incredible journey in her own life with her Pokemon, with these Pokemon. Even a Pokemon she just met 2 months ago, like, she's literally made so many memories of them already, and has literally brought them to heights never thought possible. Like, actually insane. Like, I'm so proud of her. I'm so happy for Frostshard. He is so much happier there. I'm so happy for them. And there were some really strong entrants. Shoutouts to, where is she? There she is, Mielencia. Shoutouts to Mielencia, a friend of Kiki and ours, who has actually got some ribbons, or not ribbons, got one of Kiki's mons to use on her team, and gave Kiki the Frostlass that she used on her team. Really cute little thing there. I mean, Lava Bears, who have actually met at Orlando Regionals in 2023, a million years ago. Very briefly, but she's also a friend of Rex's. It's pretty cool. With a very strong 4th place. Tied with Gold Melody, who had one of the craziest mons I've ever seen. Which was a shiny, I think this is caught in like Scarlet Violet, but shiny Golurk with the rare mark, the 1 in 1,000 mark, and a mini mark. Which is astronomically rare. Like, one of the rarest things I've ever seen. Like, actually insane showing. Like, the 2 3rd place people were completely cracked. But yeah, here we go. Everyone else here is really remarkable, I'm not gonna lie, and everyone else, but even if you're not on this list, even if you did not get in the top, like, 15%, I had such a blast listening to literally every single person's. I would recommend, go watch Rex's streams. It's like a free, like, probably 12, 13 hours of content, y'all. But if you're looking for something to listen to for the next few days while you're driving or in the shower or whatever, please do. Because they were so fun. I got to listen to all these crazy stories about all these memories of these Pokemon that they got from family members, or went on crazy trips with, or literally, like, top-cutting tournaments with. and global challenges. Like, it's crazy, y'all. You guys had some amazing submissions, and you know, as a head mod of the Pokemon Ribbons community, let me tell you, this is the exact reason I love ribboning. And like, hearing all this stuff has lit a fire in my heart to ribbon again. Like, it's been a journey getting back. I've been inactive with ribboning for a hot minute, but with this tournament, I'm like, damn, kind of want to get back into it. I want to give this a shot because I want to win. And then I won, which is it's really nice. I'm not gonna lie, with all the prep that Kiki and I were doing, I really was honestly expecting us to do incredibly well. I would have been shocked if we were not at least in like the top like 3 to 5. And then by the, you know, and then yeah, we ended up winning, which is really cool. What we won from this, by the way, besides bragging rights, which is honestly amazing, on its own, is Kiki is getting a commission where it's really cool artist to commission her entire team, all 6 of the months. And I'm getting that as well, except mine is also going to be printed and framed and shipped to me, which is so cool. I'm literally hanging it up in my office. I'm going to be doing that. And I'm going to be showing that off eventually too. Like everywhere, basically. So, let me just say. If you've ever been interested in ribboning, go do it. No matter what gen you are in. Whether it's a Gen 3 Shadow guy to do the whole thing, or a Gen 9 guy to get the couple ribbons there in that game. Do it. Join a Pokemon you love. Transfer a guy from Go you like, whatever. Do some random, like, guy in VDSP you got. It doesn't need to be a shiny, it doesn't need to be anything crazy, it doesn't need to be crazy Venmon. Like, sometimes the literal most memorable best ribbon masters are some random one you got. Like my Levanny that I rescued from my Black Tea cartridge after he had been trapped there for 10 years. Or my friend Shiny Addo, who took a Burmy named Triangle for me as trade fodder, who I had told him on a stream, keep him safe, because I actually liked him because of his stupid name. And then he went and ribbon mastered the stupid Burmy. Fully ribbon mastered it. And it's one of the favorite ribbon masters I've ever seen anyone make ever. It's these kinds of memories that bring us together, and these kind of memories that make ribboning, and make this Pokemon community so amazing. So, and just the Pokemon community in general amazing. And I'm so glad so many people got to participate in this tournament. 240 is a crazy amount. And let me tell you, like, if they do another one, I think they just announced that they're going to be doing a mobile, once the mobile release of Home comes out, they're going to be, or Champions come out, so they're going to be doing another tournament. Skraw's going to be doing another tournament. I have put my hat in the ring that I would like to help judge, if any more judges, which I think they probably will need more judges for the next Best Dressed competition. So I'm more than happy to help out with that and to make the judges' jobs a lot easier because they had to work like dogs the last couple of days from how many submissions there were. So yeah, I would be very more than happy to help because I love reading these submissions. They make me so happy. I just watched these streams the whole weekend and it was awesome. So thank you all so much for submitting. Thank you all, everybody. You guys are amazing and you're the reason that this franchise has lived on as long as it is. If professional or strictly VGC or competitive only players are the fists of the Pokemon community, us all normal TM Pokemon fans collecting all these stupid ribbon and cherishing the journeys we've been on with our cool, memorable guys, whether it be shinies or not, we are the heart and soul of the Pokemon community. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you guys so much. And I might be coming back to content, y'all. I don't know, but I might be back. We'll see. I love you guys. Take so much care. Stay safe. And like always, bye!